Welcome once again to the Reading Room, the companion YouTube
show
show
to the podcast.
to the podcast called The Comic Shop. Thank you for the help there. This is going to be episode 20.
20.
Yes, today is, well, it doesn't really matter
what today is.
because we are recording it well in advance of when it's going to be released, as I mentioned on the podcast and on the most recent episode of the YouTube show. I'm going to be taking a couple weeks off from the podcasting stuff, but we wanted to put one of these in the bank so that we could not miss so many. Hopefully we won't miss a week. We'll see how that goes.
We're going to hopefully get two.
We're hopefully going to, maybe not right the second, but hopefully we're going to bank a couple of episodes and just release them as we normally would so that we don't miss a beat when it comes to putting out this content. And Jim and Scott are going to handle the other part of the content, and that's how that's going to shake out. There you go.
That is if anybody keeps watching the show.
That's the same. I keep watching the shows. Which people are not a lot of people, but people are watching the show. All right. So without any further ado, let's get into it.
Okay, we will.
Okay. No, that's housebook. You go first.
Oh, okay. Well, I just picked up 3 packs of 2 of them for $5 at comics at Walmart. Actually, they had DC and they had some Marvels. And this is XMen Prime #1. Also in the stash, we got Doctor Strange and the Sorcerer Supreme #1. Guardians of the Galaxy Dream On #1. Amazing #21. Clone Conspiracy Tie-In, haven't got that. And Monsters Unleashed
Remember,
#1.
this came out earlier this
Actually
year.
got 2 of those. I gave one to my friend here.
Yeah.
But anyway, this is XMen Prime #1 variant edition.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It starts out in Chicago, Kitty Pryde, fresh from her galaxy-spanning adventures with the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
Just coming home, not to be an X-Man, just to do stuff. But, that doesn't last because somebody comes a-calling. It's really good art there.
Oh, that's lovely. That's lovely.
Yeah. Where are you?
There.
Writers, artists.
Well, this is a collaborative effort.
Yeah, lots of them.
Yeah.
And none of them I recognize. Well, maybe.
Mark Guggenheim, Greg Pak, Colin Bunn, Ken Lashley,
Oh, those are writers.
Ibrahim Roberson,
Yeah.
Leonard Kirk. Lots of people involved in this book.
Yeah.
And this is from earlier this year, so this is a recent book.
Yeah. So, Rohan takes off for a drink, and but we're not going to go through the entirety of the book.
Mm-hmm.
But there's pictures of the recent battles they had with the Inhumans, X-Men versus the Inhumans.
Mm-hmm.
And Aurora is thinking, I need to get out of here. I need to quit the X-Men because I'm dragging them down, and we need you to come back and lead them. She's talking to Kitty Pryde.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever would have thought Kitty Pryde would ever lead the X-Men? But true. Yeah, but she has done a lot of growing up over the years. Then we get a side story involving Lady Deathstrike.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's a pretty neat little side story. She's trying to get away from all the crazy people, and she's being recruited.
She got stabbed a lot.
Oh yeah. No isn't actually an option.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
I like this page is where she gets stabbed a lot.
Yeah.
And Lady Deathstrike, I like that. That's a missile.
Yes, it is. Yeah, and she's being forcibly recruited by this woman, who is trying to build this team. Look at that team. Old Man Logan, Sabretooth, Crowdstar,
Domino,
and then Lady Deathstrike. That's
a formidable group.
That's a pretty badass team.
That's a formidable group of mutants right there.
Uh-huh.
It's like some X-Force and a bunch of other
the
stuff.
X Mansion is now located in Limbo.
Okay, because why not?
Well, because he comics.
Yep.
And they were searching for a safe place for mutants on Earth, but that didn't happen on Earth, so they brought it to Limbo.
Mm-hmm.
And Kitty's touring the grounds, sees her old ex, Colossus, and just finding out. Like, oh, look at the baby, and she holds the baby, and it's Jubilee's baby. Jubilee's a mom.
Jubilee's a mom. Kitty Pryde's going to lead the X-Men.
Yeah, this is like it's a really cool. And these are the time displaced original X-Men team. So Hank McCoy went back in time and grabbed the original team and brought them forward in time.
Okay.
This is them now.
I see. Who's that?
That's Hank.
That's Hank.
The
That's
old-
Hank. Okay, that's Hank right there. Is that Archangel?
Yeah. I was like, what
Really?
is that? Mhm.
Archangel has wings of fire.
Yeah, I don't know this yet.
Okay, all right,
I don't know
cool.
why this is yet, but that's because I took a hiatus from
Right,
modern
right.
collecting. But yeah, it's really good. I mean, you can tell the art that we saw with Aurora Monroe in the front is different than this art here. This is a
Yeah,
collaborative-
this was a lot of clay. Yeah, that somebody else drew that panel.
Yeah. So yeah,
Oh, that's a cool. That's a really nice panel right
it's
there.
these guys. They brought them back forward in time. That's what
Yeah.
they look like when they got here.
That's a cool. That's a nice callback.
Oh,
that
yeah.
panel is. It's. I mean, it's like original X-Men, the original lineup.
Yeah. In the original costumes.
In the original costumes with the original look. So there's Hank, there's Iceman,
little
there's
punky
Jean
looking the way
Grey,
he used to look.
right? There's Archangel and there's Cyclops and all the original like the
Just Angel then, I'm sorry.
just yeah, that's true. Just like with the yellow tunics going on,
Mhm.
and Charles with the suit.
So they've recorded this message in the danger room. And Kitty's like, wait, what's going on? What are you doing stuff in danger room without having a spotter? And then she comes through the wall, and then they play this message. It's we're not staying. We're already gone. We're about to go do something crazy, stupid. It might get us killed, but why not? We figured out how to survive. And where the hell did they go? Where the hell did they get a blackbird? She says. Well, this is danger room thing. What is it? Brood?
Yeah.
Sauron, a brood,
Is that supposed to be Wolverine?
the blob.
Well, I mean, I don't know, but the head, the hair looks like.
That could be.
Yeah.
Anyway, really.
Yeah, true enough. True
Or
enough.
Spyro, Omega Red,
Oh.
Apocalypse.
Wow. Okay.
Another guy from the Age of Apocalypse.
Yeah. That's nifty.
Yeah, it's just a danger room. Safety protocols disabled, and this
Yep.
shows up.
There's Cyclops in the background.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Then there's Colossus' little sister, Queen of Limbo. She's taken a second name,
Yeah.
aka Dark Child, or Magic.
Magic is
what we know
we
her
use.
as.
Yeah.
But Dark Child, that's a new one. Then her and Kitty Pryde are like BFFs. So,
Sure, why not?
well, they are. They always have been. Yeah. But, yeah. She's talking with Leandra about moving the mansion again. And these are all the people that are
Very
students now.
colorful book.
Yeah, dude.
Nightcrawler. Is that Nightcrawler? Is it supposed to be?
I'm not sure. He doesn't really speak in this.
Huh.
It looks to be Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
I don't know if this guy is here. That's a pretty indicative shirt right
Yeah,
there.
it looks like. Yeah.
But, yeah. And she's explaining to everybody that she's going to be leading the team, and she says, okay, if I'm going to lead the team, my first act as leader is I'm ordering you to stay.
This might be more art like we saw on that
Front panel.
that storm panel at the front of the
Yeah,
book.
because these are really, really good.
Yeah, you
Faces.
can see the way the faces are drawn, especially
Mhm.
this, which we don't know who this character is, but it's been then with Kitty.
Unless it's supposed to be Colossus.
Maybe, why the cat?
I don't know.
Half my side of the shirt that's evocative of a
So
cat.
they figure out, because he said, where did you have in mind to put the mansion?
Mhm.
Well, why not Central Park?
Why not Central Park?
Yeah, that was it.
That's the really interesting looking book.
It is.
So this was released back in May of 2017.
Did you read that? Because I didn't yet.
Yeah, right on the credits page.
Yeah, May 2017.
Yeah. No kidding.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at those yet, so.
Nice. Okay. That's a pretty good. Now you got this for
3 books for $5.
3 books for $5, and it was released earlier in the year with a cover price of $5 for 1 book,
Right.
and you got a variant cover for it.
Yeah, there's two or three different variants.
That's not a bad deal.
No, not bad at all.
No, that makes excellent financial sense. That's what that does. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and proceed with. We're gonna talk about Mage, the new house book, which we covered issues 1 and 2. I covered issue 0
Yep.
back around Free Comic Book. No, it was later than that. Then we did issues 1 and 2 a couple weeks ago. And this is issue 3 of Matt Wagner's Passion Project Mage. This is essentially volume 3, The Hero Denied, but y'all know that already. So now that Matchstick has got to a point where he has a family, and now this is like the whole front part of this book is him basically telling this. Basically, it's kind of Captain Exposition because he has to tell his boy Hugo,
Right.
Because his boy Hugo saw the fight, right? That they had at the end of issue 2.
Yeah, that's Strong Excalibur. You're old enough, I guess.
Yes, that's Strong Excalibur. But actually, this basically the storyline continues with how are we going to react? How's the Matchstick family, Madge and Kevin and the 2 kids are going to react to this new threat? And there's a lot of stuff on the interior book about how the big bad, the Umbra Sprite, the Umbra Mother, and her kind of team of daughters, the Gracklethorns.
The Gracklethorns. I was trying to think
Like
what
their
they-
mission is to find this individual called the Fisher King,
Yeah,
which there was a movie called The Fisher King.
not the same.
Not the same, but there's kind of echoes of what goes on with that story and this story, and that they expect the Fisher King to be kind of some homeless, indigent man. And not knowing necessarily the background, because I still have not quite dived into the Hero Discovered, the Hero Defined,
Right.
the previous 2 volumes of Mage. But they really want to find this guy. And before we get to the next issue of this, I'm gonna buck up on my history of this a little bit so I can find it. There's a lot of gruesome stuff that happens
Yeah, I see that.
in a homeless shelter involving a nun getting killed, among other people. And
So the Gracklethorns don't care, huh?
they're not going to eat the nun, but they're going to eat the cab driver. Because, I love cab driver.
Wow.
Hi, sorry about that. Technical difficulty. Scott's pretty good at reminding me about things like batteries. And he did, to his credit. I thought there was plenty of juice in those batteries. But anyway, moving on. We're going to power through this. So where we stop is basically talking about the Gracklethorns like to eat people. And so they're going to set up their own homeless shelter. And they're going to try to basically lure in the Fisher King, and I'm not, nothing. It'll be fun, and it'll basically give them a buffet to eat from. And so on the side of Matchstick, what's that?
What is?
I don't know what that is.
Patience, darling, soon.
I think that might be the Umbra Sprite, and she's the Umbra Mother, and I think they might be kind of a husband and wife thing. But for some reason, he's trapped inside this. This will be an overlay. He's trapped inside this thing, and it's a
Must be they need Matchstick's power.
wonderful, maybe, or the Fisher King's power.
Or the Fisher King.
Right. It's a wonderfully creepy enough wall hanging.
Yeah.
All right, so back to the home front. Matchstick and Madge are talking, and the general consensus is this. Matchstick needs to leave because they're looking for him. They're not looking for the wife or the kids.
Right.
He's going on the road. So now it's going to turn into a road movie, which ought to be pretty darn cool. And it's a little heartbreaking to see a father have to leave his family. His wife is
They don't
young.
get back to that brew that they had in the upstairs.
They talk about it a little bit. Well, they talk about it at the beginning, I think, a little bit where it's like it'd be a shame to have to leave that after working for it so long. But with the family staying in the house, they can keep it there. And it can work its magic and protect the family. And he can go on the road, being the one who is hunted, but also the one who's more than capable of dealing with the threats and stuff like that. So this is a cool part at the end where it's like he's obviously doing some work, and it's something like and there's this one there's one scene in a bar where it's basically like, and to feel right back at a place last night, all this sparkling and sizzling. You know what I think? Some kind of mobile meth lab. And this guy says, "Goddamn junkies." Right, but obviously that's not what it was. The sizzling and sparkling was somebody who was drawing Excalibur. And
side of a train car, bro.
Side of a train car blown right out. All those singe marks, some kind of electrical fire. Seen in a bar. They say it's him, the Pendragon. He's back in the games. But the Pen Man, he's been out of action for 6-7 years now? More like 10. So he's obviously leaving a trail for anybody that's trying to hunt him. He's leaving a trail for them to follow. And they're following him, and he's taking care of whatever threats are being thrown at him. And the Umbra Mother every time he wields Excalibur, the Umbra Mother feels it. So she's getting ready to double down on her commitment to find him and destroy him.
Summon an adversary powerful enough to shatter his metal
And extinguish his pathetic spark. And the last panel of issue 2 is he has a bus driver let him out in like a rest area. He sits down on a bench. And I'll say this: we usually keep this pretty G-rated, but this will be PG. And the last panel, and this will be the overlay. It's him just sitting on the bench, and he says, "All right, you assholes, come and get me." And it's pretty.
It's like a postcard to be.
Wish you were here. So there it is. There's also a really cool letter section.
Look at the back when he said there's merch.
There is merch.
Action figures. I didn't
There's
know.
merch. You can get that in up to a 2XL.
Great.
Then with the bad glow, it's all glow in the dark
That's
stuff too,
neat.
like that. You know what I mean? And there's always a pretty cool letter section. I've noticed at the back of all these books, incantations, and Matt responds to everybody that writes letters to the book. So there you go.
Cool stuff.
Yes, I am really glad.
I'm glad too.
I'm glad that issue 0 of this with a black and white cover called out to me from the racks at my local shop. God, I think I bought that on Free Comic Book Day, but I'm not sure. And it's a perfect addition to this show because, I mean, while it's Image, it's not necessarily an indie book. Like we keep talking about, it's a passion project. This is a guy.
Passion project.
Yes, he writes, he draws, his son does the colors.
That's neat.
Yes, and his son does some really good chromatic work. You know, and it's a book that's like I said before, there's a simplicity to the art, there's a simplicity to the writing, but it lends itself to the story. You don't need to complicate this story. This story does very good, does very well, is more profoundly told, being told through like a simpler style of art. So there you go. That's the reading room.
Yes, sir.
I have no idea when. I barely know what today's date is. I have no idea when this will go up, but it will go up in approximately the general rotation. We have one that is, as we speak, uploading to YouTube.
Nice.
So you'll be seeing that. I don't know why obviously you'll be seeing that shortly. You have no context. Yes. You'll probably be seeing that tomorrow, but you have no context. Anyway, all right, I'm going to stop talking. acpodcast1@gmail.com. I always lead with that, but nobody ever uses it. Facebook.com/thecomicsshop1. Always the easiest and best way to get a hold of us, to find the content that we post, to find the content from other people that we share. Look for us on Instagram at The Comic Shop 1, or just search out The Comic Shop. I keep pushing that Instagram because there's a lot of stuff, really cool stuff in the orbit.
I read something about don't give up on Twitter yet.
Yeah, don't give up on Twitter yet. I try. I'm not adept at constantly updating the socials, but the Instagram is the one that I pay the most attention to. I will be honest with you. I'm just a man. just a man. A man's something or other. Shut up. That was a Flash Gordon reference.
Oh, man.
Not even the
Yes, it
original
was.
strip. The movie with the Queen soundtrack. We get those pulls in the podcast. We might as well pull them up in the reading room too. So there you go. Hopefully we won't have to be dark for a week. If we are, my apologies because it's entirely my fault. You won't be seeing hopefully a whole lot of this anymore because it's getting cold up here in the frozen tundra. So we're going to be hopefully I'm going to do my best to put together a studio in the house where we can do the shoots and do the podcast, so we aren't sitting out here in the cold like idiots, which we did last winter. I'm not doing that again.
That didn't bother me.
Of course it didn't. Oh no, it didn't bother you at all. No. All right. That being said, this over here is Scott.
Yeah.
This over here is Eric. This has been the Reading Room, episode 20. Thanks a lot for checking us out. Like and share and subscribe, please.
Yes.
Those
comment.
those three things, which you are on the internet, you know it only takes just a very short time to do, and we really, really, really appreciate it if you would do so. Like, share, subscribe, and also comment. We have not yet had a single comment on the YouTube channel. We would like that.
Aside from Charles.
On the YouTube? No.
Oh.
Well, no, on the actual YouTube channel, because
Yeah,
you
yeah.
commented on the Facebook site, which is okay, which is perfectly fine.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of cool to see a comment on the
Down below in
YouTube
the
channel
feeds of YouTube.
that isn't from him. Because I don't need to hear what he thinks. He tells me anyway. So yeah, down in the comments, but more importantly, like, share, and subscribe, and share, and then subscribe, and then share again.
Share.
And share. We could appreciate it, and it'll let us know what we're doing that you like, what we're doing that you don't like. Let us know. And book recommendations. Please book recommendations. Man, even if we can't find it in hard copy, if we can only find it in digital, we will definitely talk about it. If you recommend a book, that's how we got into the Valiant thing.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. All right, so there you go.
That's it.
That's it. That's all she wrote. We'll be